I remember. I remember COVID-19. Hey, do you guys remember a few years ago? I always talk to people about like COVID, and it's funny how people don't like to remember what the world was like just like 2.5 years ago, where our employers would make us wear masks, and very beginning of COVID, a lot of people were getting money and all kinds of stuff. But what they failed to realize was that um, you were considered an essential employee. What they were doing was they were handing out these pieces of paper, and it was a document proving that you were an essential employee because they had police in your community pulling people over and telling you to go home and not leave your house. Basically, they essentially illegally imprisoned you in your home. It seems like everyone forgets that like there was news articles about people getting sick with COVID, and there are literally just like police sitting outside their homes, making sure they don't leave and getting other people sick. And I point these things out sometimes, and it's just I feel like people don't want to realize how easily out of control the whole COVID thing got, and I like to think that that could never happen again. But realistically, like, could it? Could it happen again? And I think about all this stuff, and like that essential worker documentation. I mean, I never had to show it to anyone, but like, um, it's just amazing that like you had to have papers to show that you're allowed to be out of your home and you're allowed to be working in the community. It baffles my mind. I because I used to be a big fan of this TV show called Hogan's Heroes, and it was like this comedy World War II show and stuff. And there were all these I don't want to go too into it, but they're always asking for your papers and stuff like that. And then they would always ask for your ID and things like that, and it just feel very like totalitarian and controlling. And I was like, and you had like people mobbing your the companies you work for and stuff, and like peer pressuring them and publicly pressuring them to like force their employees to wear masks in their job, or else like they'd publish like videos online about how this company is not being safe and stuff like that. So the companies would cave to public pressure and force their employees to wear masks, get shots to vaccinate and stuff like that. It's funny because like we were only some employers that I know were only a few days away from requiring their employees to get a shot, or they would fire you. And then the Supreme Court came down and said you can't for private businesses can't force their employees to vaccinate for COVID. And it's just, I'm talking about my experiences here. It was I mean, it was mind baffling because I legitimately admit I did get some vaccinations, because my family wanted me to, and I did. I got like the first, I think, 3 shots, but after that I tapered off on it pretty quickly. The whole like pressure thing where people kept getting obsessed with like boosters and stuff, just turned me off to it. It seemed like everywhere you go, you were seeing like incentives for people like getting money and gift cards and things to get a shot put in your body. It just seemed a little suspicious and kooky to me. And so I tapered off on that pretty quickly once I knew it wasn't going to be required. Because man, we all got to earn an income, and sometimes you got to suck it up and do what you got to do. But it shocks me that people want to so easily forget about like all the things that we had to do in order to stay employed, in order to work in the community, in order to even leave our own homes. And I'm kind of doing this video talking about my experiences with it to like not be forgotten about it. Cause damn man, when we wore those masks, like those little surgical masks that they wore in the clinic, like the freaking hospital, man, they were requiring people to wear that shit like a year or a year and a half after they lifted mask mandates. I mean, how the hell does a government mandate you to go into a business wearing a mask? That seems weird. I mean, and then it seems like they brainwashed an entire generation of people into thinking that that prevents you from getting COVID, when like all the latest medical studies say that it absolutely made no like tangible benefit other than just like making people like have a false sense of security that they can't get sick. And it's amazing. And I don't know, it was a crazy time. And I think that in modern society, that's the first time that we've had to deal with like such a widespread illness that it just made people panic and do a lot of things that we just had never seen before. And whatever, that was just some of my experiences with it. I don't know if anyone else had more extreme experiences with it, or if they quit their job over all that shit. Because let me tell you something, the reason why there's a worker shortage in a lot of areas was because people could like continue working and have to do all this shit to stay employed, or they could just retire. And there's a lot of people who just retired because they didn't have to put up with any of that. And that kind of, that kind of made it difficult. And, for a while there during mid COVID, it was really hard to find employees because a lot of people didn't want to leave home. A lot of people didn't want to work. And a lot of people just retired because they didn't need that income anymore. And I think things have recovered somewhat now. But I think a lot of times it will never be where it was before. And so that's just something people have to learn to live with. All right, thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. This is Domino's Pizza, located in my butt.